इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Thank you so much, Dheeraj, for the lovely motivational video from your side. Since 1999, we are creating difference in market. Franchise India, a brand name known for its trust and stability. And it's our everyday drive that we are giving to international and national brands to expand their business through our 70 plus offices. We are helping potential business buyers to get their dream brands from us. And yes, we have taken an initiative of Business Opportunity with Chai series, where we try to explain you the kind of the brands present in market. Welcome to the 63rd edition of Business Opportunity with Chai webinar series. This particular webinar is hosted by Mr. Maria, who is a chairman at Franchise India Group. We also welcome our second panel member, Ms. Sonia Chaudhary. She is the MD at Franchise India Brands Limited. And both of us will help, both of them will help us in understanding today's brand. We have brand of the day, Entertainment Sports. And we have Karan, who is the founder of this particular great brand. Brand started in 2020, provides full service entertainment management that covers all aspects of event management. That includes planning, conceptualization, management coordination, execution, and most importantly, on-time completion of the project. They serve clients like Reliance, HDFC Bank, MRF, Adani, Asian Groups, and many more. With this introduction, I formally welcome Karan to speak about his journey, and I would request him to share his screen. Thank you so much, Karan.
Thank you, Archana. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Good morning, Gaurav sir. Good morning, Sonia. And I thank you for the opportunity of presenting this wonderful webinar in front of you all. As you see, I'm representing entertainment, sports, and ES celebrations, and we are a turnkey event management solution provider. Entertainment sports providing solutions to the corporates, and ES celebrations providing solutions to the social functions, the weddings, and other social gatherings. This company was started in 2010 with a view of providing event management solution to tier 2 and tier 3 cities. When I was in Mumbai doing my internships and graduation, post graduation into event management, I saw a lot of opportunity and a scope in the tier 2 and tier 3 city markets, wherein we as a service provider were providing our services to the corporate houses present into the metro cities. And although the growth and the demand in that point of time in the market was into the tier 2 and tier 3 city markets, which we saw that there was a lot of gap which was available for us to fill space. So it was in 2010 when I decided that I need to move on from a metro city to Gujarat, wherein there were a lot of corporate houses and available into the city. So we started up our company in Gujarat, and wherein we provided our service with respect to project research. There were
So friends, we are facing some technical problem. Karan will join us soon. Allow us some time.
Apologies for the delay. I think Karan is facing some problems, so we will start as soon as he comes back. We have kept this webinar today because we still feel that there's a huge opportunity in the entertainment in the MICE space. While the current COVID times, obviously in the bigger cities, it might be challenging because the gatherings are not possible. But businesses are not done, I will continue to repeat, businesses are done for a 5-year to 10-year horizon. This is one of the industries which would always be great in India because celebrations would be very close to Indians, and a lot of MICE opportunity is also very big. And when Karan comes back, he will talk about how he's built the industry. In a B and C cities, I think the opportunity even today holds very good. As the venues and everything starts coming back in normal, then this opportunity can be a tremendous opportunity. Archana, can you contact Karan, please?
Yes, sir. I just called him. He's joining us.
In the meantime, if you have questions, we had a very good sessions yesterday also. And thanks for a lot of people who come regularly to our webinars. We really appreciate. Our endeavor is to bring in 365 days, every day a new opportunity. And that's something which Franchiseindia is extremely committed. And yesterday also we had about 750 people attended our various webinars, directly attending from our webinar link. And then there are a lot of people who join us on a Facebook Live. Shubham, I saw your question. If you have anything, if we can help you, just call us and we'll be happy to talk to you and help you what business you should be taking. The process I always insist is that go through a structure. If you're looking to buy a business, always follow these three things. One, information. Information is keep coming to the webinars, keep looking at different opportunities, evaluate those opportunities, and then negotiate these opportunities. So information, evaluation, and negotiation. We also did one webinar on Saturday. It's called Franchise Sahi Hai. It's available on Facebook of Franchiseindia brands. Please go there and see through. We have actually put down 25 points which one should really go through before you decide to buy a franchise. It's a very, very interesting, out of our experience of 23 years, you can actually go out and check this on the Facebook site. Yes, Sunil, we are helping on the legal matters. While we don't, we do purely just advice. And if any conflict is there, then you obviously have to hire a separate law firm. But certainly, if you want to do your contractual or you need advice on doing a contract, we have a service called Fran Legal. You can obviously reach us. Amod, yes, you're right. This is a time which would be difficult for the major cities at this stage. I think it will take another 2 to 3 months for getting the normal situation back. I think hotels have already started taking bookings from end of August, and some of them have actually started. Goa is now started taking all MICE locations and opportunities. While it will take 4, 5, 6 months, anybody's guess, to bring everything to normal, but this industry is not going to stop. At this stage, maybe smaller events would happen. As it goes back, it will come down to back to normal. And even if you're looking to get into this business, this is a good time to evaluate, maybe sign, build your capabilities, start with your smaller events, and slowly when you set up, then you can go and expand. But it is a great opportunity for smaller cities. As Karan was saying, there is an opportunity at this moment for doing it. Yes, Hamir, we can obviously discuss. You can reach us, all of you, at gm@gauravmaria.com. If you have any question, I'll write it for you. You can obviously reach me directly for any question. It's gm@gauravmaria.com. I'll be happy to answer all your questions. And if there are opportunities, we certainly would like to discuss with you. We also have a business hotline. If any business which you are interested in, you can also come to this and send a WhatsApp, and we will immediately line. Karan, we are back now, so we can see you. I was doing your role in terms of helping people.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Because of this climate condition.
I thought I'll take the people through the website, but great you joined in. We could hear from you.
Yeah. So basically, our intent and the idea was to bring professional event management services to the small cities and towns with meaningful and rewarding collaborations. So the journey started from there, wherein we were the first mover, where we got the first mover advantage of exploiting the small cities in India, wherein there were no professionally driven event management companies at that point of time. At that time, event management was sort of flourishing with a high growth rate in the smaller cities. So that was the whole idea about starting up. What we did was brought onto the table professionally and a complete researched model, wherein the clientele, like the multinational companies who were having the manufacturing units in the small cities and towns, where they had started up with the manufacturing units. So at that point of time, there were a lot of companies like Lanxess, SRF, all the multinational companies who wanted to do events in the smaller cities, but were not getting the proper guidance and a professionally driven company to manage things. And what they were doing was at that point of time making shift with their in-house arrangements and stuff like that. So what we did was we brought onto the table our services, which were quite unique and not available in the cities. So we started up with the project research, doing up with them with proper proposal and budgeting. Conceptualizing and designing is something which we proud ourselves with, which we have an in-house design studio. Connecting with the clients and having regular feedbacks and approvals from them, taking things to the on-ground execution and giving them the technical support needed for the on-ground execution. So with this, we created a aura of trust and built up a company on this principles. What we proud ourselves with is the unparalleled customer service, a process-driven approach, and the creativity and strategic vision that we bring onto the table for our clients. A few of the works that we have executed for multinational companies, you can see over here.
We cannot see your slide. If you can.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So the kind of work that we have executed for our companies and clientele. These are the social division ES celebrations they do into the wedding. In the last decade, we have garnered clientele and major accolades, which we have got for our work that we have put into the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So we were the company in focus in 2020. We were the most innovative brand in 2019. In the state of Gujarat, where we have flourished our wings in the last decade, we were the most promising integrated event company. For the wedding division, the ES celebration, we were the top 10 most trusted wedding planning companies in India in 2019. We were also the best wedding planner of the year at the Golden Glory Awards in 2019. So, and for the corporates and the MSME sector, wherein we kind of catered to our clients, we were the top 5,000 best MSME companies in India. I see that the main aim with which we started up the company in the tier 2, tier 3 city market was because, as you see over here in 2013, the unorganized sector was this whole event industry which fall into the unorganized sector, how it has grown into with 47% share in 2021 that we see. So the whole market is coming into a very organized sector because the people in the post-COVID era would want to take the services of event planners to execute their events in a more organized way, in a more innovative way, in a more structured way. And as also the government is kind of focusing on to getting things into a very structured way moving further. So there would be a lot of scope which we can explore with respect to the organized event industry, which we are kind of focusing on. The reasons why we need to get partnered with more and more of the clientele and the more and more of penetration into the tier 2 and tier 3 city market is the need of having a one-stop solution for your events, be it social, be it corporate, The industry, as it is, as you see, the growth of the industry has been exponential in the last 1 decade, and we see that in coming 2-3 years, the organized event industry would be more than 90% of the market share. We also boast ourselves to be professionally managed with a lot of accolades which has come across our way. The distinguished clientele that we have catered to, the multinational companies and the HNI individuals. The comprehensive learning and support as being a company which boasts of its people being learned event managers, a legacy of 10 years. And as we have just finished up with a decade year of existence, we are completely rebranding ourselves and coming across as a new age event management company, and 1800 plus events executed and counting. We have independent partner model which we are kind of exploring, wherein the investment is quite minimal. The franchisee fees being 5 lakh rupees for a period of 5 years, and the payback is just 10 months. We also have the franchisee owned, franchisee operated model. We have had like given options of a smaller unit and a slightly bigger unit of 750 square feet, the smaller unit of 400 square feet, wherein the approx investment is just 25 lakh rupees with a payback of 1 year and 4 months, and the agreement term being 5 years. And the master franchisee model, wherein we are giving them the rights to open up 3 franchisees, and the approx investment is 36 lakh rupees, and the payback is just 1 year and 10 months for an agreement of 5 years. So yeah, this is.
Thank you, Karan. If we can go into deeper into business model, and I think the first everybody is asking these days, what is going to happen? Event, what is going to happen to the celebrations? What is going to happen post-COVID? Over to you, your assessment, because you're deep into this. What is going on? Talking to all the other industry fellows. What are feedbacks you're getting? And
see, the post-COVID era, see, the events are gonna happen. The things, the inquiries and everything have started rolling in. It is a very minor setback for a few months maybe, and things would be back to normal. But there is a way in which we have to innovate. There is a way in which we need to be more organized. We need to be more structured in the way we are gonna do our events. Hygiene and social distancing is gonna be in trend, so we are innovating on that front. And we see that all the weddings that were taking place outside India are gonna take place in India moving further because of the travel restrictions and all. So we see that as an immense opportunity which we can target upon. The destination weddings are gonna be in trend in India, and we see moving further in a very positive way. And it is a great need of event managers, because individual who would be doing it by himself would be more in approach of a very organized event which they want to do, and we come into the picture to help them make their dreams come true. We bring in the professionalism and the services to help them glide through this situation.
Sure, I completely agree with you, and I'll put it a different perspective for all our audience. You know, when you have to look at what happens to situations like these, there are a couple of things to change. One, as Karan has said, people would change from what they were consuming, like international weddings, when people used to go to Thailand or a European destination or Dubai or places like that to hold their weddings. And this was multi-billion-dollar industry, which would shift for Indian markets, which is a great news. So which means that while your overall volume might shrink, but this volume would start coming in, at least for the next 6 to 8 months. That would be one. Second, whenever you look at an opportunity, don't look at from an overall scenario, look at from a scenario from a micro market viewpoint. So a lot of micro markets are there in India which are not affected, where the life is normal, events are still happening. So depending on where you coming from, that would be a big opportunity. Third, which is a big opportunity coming for everybody, is that this industry is moving from an unorganized to organized. This industry has a lot of micro players. Now, micro players are people who become event managers. They don't have any office. They have no identity. They are people who just are get a business because the business was so much, and they used to collect all these vendors and try to organize things. They are pretty much freelancer kind of a organization. They would exit this business. They would not be able to survive because only the structured organizations like Karan runs, which has done 1,800 outlets, 1,800 events, would be able to survive. So while it might look like that the market would shrink for some time, at least 5 to 6 months, but eventually it would create a big opportunity. Now I'll explain the business model, and Karan, you can also come in.
Yeah.
The model is divided into 3 different parts, and how this business model really works. One is what we call the IP creation. IP is a very tedious task. It is the heart of this business. IP means all the design values, understanding the theme of the event, what kind of entertainment you want to bring in, and a lot of these things. People today want to know what is an IP. So people, if they're even doing corporates, do a MICE event, which means that they do celebration for their teams or their dealers or distributors. They want to create some theme. Now, because Karan has done 1,800 events, he has a lot of IP available with him. So now those IPs are very much, but independent event company cannot create those IPs because these IPs takes a lot of time. Only very few large companies have that ability to create multiple IPs, both for MICE events and also for your entertainment or leisure events. So that's IP. That's what his company brings in. Second is vendor relationship. Even a smallest event, if you do a very small event, say you want to do a dealer meet for 100 dealers coming in, 200 dealers coming in, from hotels to travel to stage to sound to music providers to entertainers to food to other kind of facilities, even for decor, event supplies. A lot of vendors are required in a smallest event. And these vendors have different pricing, different structures. So as an independent player, you will not be able to do it because these vendors are already being structured with Karan and his team. Third is event execution, which is where the franchisee really comes in. So between these 3 things, 2 things Karan and his team would bring in. His team would bring in IP. He will bring in all the event vendors and the other vendor relationship, which he enjoys. Now he gets the best rate from all the vendors. And the third thing, which is the execution on the ground and also managing the relationship with the client, would be done by the franchisee. Also, this is a very integrated business. Integrated means that you might be, say, in Indore and you become a franchisee. You get now a client which wants to hold a wedding in Goa. Now, if you have that situation, Karan and his team would come along with you to handle that execution. Independently, for you as a franchisee to handle the execution would be very difficult. So, Karan, your inputs on what I have presented, any other inputs you would like to have on this?
No, sir, you are very much right on the part of managing events across different cities, having a destination wedding. If a client staying in Indore wants to do a wedding in Goa, so we come into the picture from the point of contact, being the first point of contact to them, coming into the picture, making the guest list, doing the RSVP thing, arranging for the travel, getting them a bouquet of, just like we are on panel with Marriott. So we have all the properties with whom we make them accustomed to what are the requirements coming into the picture, the guest list, the RSVP thing. So we help them manage the whole turnkey wedding solution. Or if there are corporates who want to do outbound training activities to a different location, so they want to take the marketing team to outbound training. So we have certain innovative ideas wherein we can make their learning more fun, and along with the training which they take for 2-3 days, we mix and match it up with a few light-hearted team building activities and other entertainment sessions for them. So we do provide the solutions to our clientele. And post the COVID era, as you said, things are moving into a direction of getting more structured, getting more organized. There are a lot of licensing things which would come into the picture for even a smaller function. So we take care of each and every task which a client wants to achieve from doing his event, and we become a part of their extended family.
Very interesting. And also, I think venues today are like very important integral part of the event industry. And venues also are liking now to work with organized event management companies. So say if you are Marriott is one of the largest venue holders for 5-star hotels in India, Marriott as a group. Then you have multiple other chains. So they also don't want to work with independent freelancers because they get a lot of complaints later by clients because the clients use their services and they trust these venues. So venues also work very closely with the organized players in the market. So if you were to say book a venue, first you always book a venue because you want to start with a venue where you want to have your wedding or something like that. And at the same time, you will ask the hotel also who you really want to recommend. And hotels would normally recommend players which are more recognized, more stable, more structured, so that they are able to handle the events in a larger capacity. So now let's, Karan, go into a business modeling. And I would like from a small city, if somebody becomes your partner in Udaipur. Udaipur is a great destination. It is a phenomenal destination. I mean, somebody has asked, Martin has asked, which is the top India's destination for wedding. Udaipur certainly would stand at the top, one of the top ones. I think Goa is a great and other places are great, but Udaipur has very strong capability to handle a very large Rajasthan itself. I mean, very big opportunities. You might become your franchisee in Udaipur and to do say only 30 events in a year, which means that 10 weddings. Only entire year 10 weddings. I did 10 big events, and then I did 10 smaller, activation or trainings or entire thing. What kind of revenue at a gross level I will be able to see, and what kind of margins I can see? Just to give a ballpark, what is the marriage look like, billing was for an event management company?
Very good perspective on that front. See, the event industry, which is kind of structured and unstructured. So a wedding being a very unstructured thing, the revenue generated and the margins are near about 25 to 30% is the ballpark figure which I can say for an event that we do. Either it is a corporate or a social. If we talk about the weddings, the revenue generated is much higher than the corporate, and the revenue model is quite subjective, but I would say the HNI individuals who are getting the weddings done in location like Udaipur is not less than 2 CR is what the revenue generated from a wedding in a destination market as Udaipur. It includes the whole of the accommodation, the food, the decor, the artist, and the auxiliary services which they require, including the travel and all. So that depends from where they are coming in. For the corporates, it is quite lesser because there is this like 150 to 200 people they come across for a corporate event or the family days or any other event. So the revenue generated from that source is not less than 20 to 30 lakh rupees. So the margins are quite clear with the corporate. The margins are quite subjective with the social gatherings.
Very good.
can discuss this thing on a one-on-one basis if we are discussing the revenues and margins with the prospective players.
Absolutely. And I think I was doing some back of the card calculation that this business is an interesting business if your gross revenues for a market is about say about 2 odd crores from your services, and then it's a healthy margin, and you can still take care of, because you have too many team. You need maybe one business person, one business development person would continue to go to venues, to make relations, and also keep with a lot of supply referrals. In this business, everybody can be a referral. Even your venue can be a referral. Anybody can be a referral in this business, and a lot of good references keep coming in from the industry. And once you start building that structure, which I think my next question to you, Karan, is how do you help with a franchisee if he starts? If I start in Udaipur or I start in Jaipur, to help me to get some early clients, because I'm not from industry. I want to get into this industry. I like this industry, but you have a lot of years of learning. Are you going to be training or working with me in my city in Jaipur or other places, some early clients, or we will get references or marketing support from you?
We do have ongoing marketing and inquiry generation, and the business development is ongoing process for us. If a franchisee is coming on board in Udaipur, so we do provide them with the venue tie-ups, which we already have at different cities and locations. So we have groups and the sales directors with whom we are working day in, day out. So all the local venues available in that city, we would be helping the franchisee with the tie-up. We would be helping them with the training of individuals who are going to work with them all together. We would be providing them with the creatives and the decor setups and all the branding and all the other auxiliary requirements which they have. And also we would be looking on day-to-day operations of the franchisee, helping them with the marketing, helping them with the business development, helping them with the on-ground execution, helping them with the designing and collaterals and everything which they require from our side. So we would be providing them with all out support in developing their unit as a whole.
And what kind of a team, what franchisee would have to take? You know, is the one business development manager good enough, and he can increase later? And maybe
one business development manager is enough in the initial phase for say at least for 2 years, and then as and how when the unit is responding or the unit is growing, we can see to adding them. We do require client servicing managers, so we would be requiring 2 client servicing manager along with a business development manager and the admin staff and
all event can be very complex, and because at Franchiseindia also while we do B2B exhibitions, but it is a complex business. It is very demanding business. So you would select a franchisee who comes with a lot of operational background, because operationally it is very demanding.
Operationally on event execution, we do have a team which acts as a freelancer. They come on project basis, and the cost is kind of taken into the consideration on event cost. And operationally, we are not looking. What we look forward to from a franchisee is having a good social background, be influential in the market. They can pass on a good word of mouth. On the creditability of the brand, we would be able to convert the prospective business into a confirmed business that is very sure of us. But somebody who is influential or socially active, that person, if they take the franchisee, we can go a long way.
Absolutely, and this is a very interesting business. It's required for people who always wanted to be an event manager, but they don't know how to get started. And I know a lot of people like this career because it's a very interesting, because you are meeting new things, you're doing new news. You're always in the excitement. It's a pretty much a glamour business to be part of an event industry, but it's also very hardworking, and a lot of young people have been very, very successful in this industry rather than because they're creative, they are able to through and so on and so forth. So Karan, before I call Sonia, there is always a event management companies. Any person I know, unfortunately, I know almost all event management companies in the country. Some of them are very dear friends of mine. And they always have one marquee event which they did, which they always are very proud of. Like one of my friends actually did the Geo launch, and 35,000 people in Jamnagar, he had to do the catering for it. 35,000 Mani's catering. It's not an easy.
Foodlink was catering,
Sorry, Foodlink was doing.
Mr. Sanjay Vajrani. He's a very good,
So Sanjay ji did that. And so he's a good friend of ours also, but he always talks about things of that nature. So and it's not every. What is that event which gives you that pleasure, yet you were able to handle and against every odd, and you were able to execute?
It's a very nice thing which has come up, and I would say again it was for Reliance. We did the birth anniversary of Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani. They have a very huge unit over here in Dahej, which is a special economic zone. And what they have is like they have 2,000 employees working here. So if you multiply the family, so the challenge was for the whole weekend they were doing events across multiple locations, and each location is identical to the other location. So there need not be any difference which they feel. Each and every individual should come out with the same experience. So juggling between different sites and providing them with the same experience, and that was happening again in Jamnagar also, and that was again happening in the Knowledge City in Mumbai also, and it was the same event was happening in Hazira also near Surat. So that was a very challenging experience also, and along with challenge, it gave us a idea and that final gratification of doing that thing in a most appropriate way, in the most structured way, and everyone came out with a smile on their face. And basically for me, again, it was a challenge that what I had to prove them was that being in this geographical area of Gujarat, kind of comparing myself along with the people executing the event, as you said, in Jamnagar also, and as you said, comparing myself with somebody sitting in Mumbai also, and we came up with the flying colors. That was one of the best reviews that I got from a testimonial I got for my company.
Very good. I mean, anything you do.
That was the first time I spoke to Mr. Sanjay, actually. Yeah, and that is how I came in connect with him, and now we are working on a lot of social gatherings and social events and weddings together.
He also runs a banquet in Ahmedabad. I don't know, is still running or no?
No. Now it is in Mumbai and Myra Banquets. Yeah.
So it's a very interesting because if you work with the clients or any event, it's most demanding. They go all up in the last detailing. And these all his events of Mukesh Ambani. Delight people keep listening and seeing that these marriages and the events. Which I will now like to invite Sonia to take up a lot of questions she has.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karan. I was going through your website also while you were away, and I was trying and replying to some of the questions which I'm seeing, and we still have many questions again.
Sure.
But before we start, I also like to talk a little bit of, and I'm picking that up from a lot of audience who've put that, and also maybe giving my perspective. And everybody's talking about the event as an industry, and I believe, and I'm sure you as a company is also preparing for these times, and we all believe this is not going to stay here forever, and eventually this is going to die. But people are preparing, they're reinventing their business models. There are three things, and I will echo what Gaurav also said. There are three things which remain important, whether pandemic times, non-pandemic times. First is relationship and building experiential engagement models with audience, And this is a time where many event companies are not engaging with the audience. So I would say this is the most important time where you have to build and maintain those relationships. And second is a user experience, which is more personalized, and that emotional connection and return on time, which end consumer looks at. And third is your leading with the content, which is your IP protection, which is important. And just to maybe start off with my first, I would like to, talk about technology. Now, if you see, a lot of events have come online, so technology has kind of become the lifeline for any event company, from work to events, whether that's home or even the birthday parties I'm seeing all happening also. So while, like I said, this pandemic might not stay for a long time, but for the interim period, people are also rethinking and reinventing on the business model, where they're creating this hybrid event model, which can also be delivered online and can also be delivered offline. I wanted to understand, what is the current business model? Is there a tech piece in it which can actually enable some kind of events which can be delivered online? And also, because somebody also asked, because now with digitalization, now your geography becomes very small. You're not limited to one city. So can I get one question which I've seen? Can I get people from other locations also? Because these are both tech driven questions. So if I can have you answer that.
We do have the Zoom weddings happening across India now. We have already executed 4 to 5 virtual weddings. We have delivered that. There are service providers who have created that infrastructure and that ecosystem in which we can deliver weddings or social functions. And even for the corporates, they are quite adapting to this whole model, wherein an employee sitting in a remote location on a manufacturing site need not come to the marketing event and attend that whole event and get that information, be at par with all the latest happenings into the organization. So in that way, I feel that this pandemic has created a model for corporates in a longer run. Even the post-COVID scenario, if there is an organization who is looking into reducing the cost, having more productive work taken from an employee, having optimum utilization of the resources, they are gonna stick to this virtual world. And it has broken that boundary, which previously all the employees used to do with travel and accommodation cost and attendance and the work being ignored. So this is one part of the story. The second part of the story with the social, although this thing is quite in trend for the current scenario, the experiences which a company or the event or the family needs to have from a wedding or a birthday party or from any other social event, they are doing it as a makeshift thing as of now, which they are not able to. I have spoken to a lot of group hotels and also the wedding aggregators, just like WedMeGood or weddingsonline.com. So what we have taken from them, what inputs they have told us is that the traffic has immensely increased onto the website. They are just waiting and watching on the next step, which the government is going to take, and they are postponing things as of now to November, December, January, February, wherein I was just having a conversation at Westin Properties, Marriott Properties, Taj Properties, and you won't believe that the November and December dates, people are not having dates in the properties. They are so much booked. Now they have started the waitlisting system, first come, first serve basis. And also as an industry, we all are coming together and giving benefit to the clients on booking their dates today and giving them multiple opportunities to shift the dates. We are giving them package deals wherein they are giving us a cashback of 20 to 30%, which they can utilize in future, or we can give them a discount to the client. And we utilize that cashback and pass on that advantage to the. So what I see with the social functions and the weddings, things are going to get back to normal and not be dependent upon the technology in the long run.
Another big, just my feedback is that change you would see now, especially in the wedding side.
Side
in India was all about mass gatherings
Yeah.
and trying to give everybody not so much of
Yeah.
attention. It was
Yeah.
changed last 3 years. A lot of 3 years, people were doing destination weddings. They didn't do 3,000 people. They want to do 300 people, but they wanted to do very good. So say if you were doing earlier, you used to bring 1,000 people, you spend maybe 1,000 rupees on each 1,000. Then it's
Yeah.
to a situation where 300 people, but you spend maybe 5,000 on each 300 people. Now
Yeah.
you see another change would come. You will do
Yeah.
a wedding for 50 people only. You will take the
Yeah.
most closest of your family members for a 7 day, much longer, much safer. You book the complete resort for 50 or 100 people. You're safe, and you will probably end up spending 10,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees on each person. So what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
we still spend the same wallet share,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
now because they would go very, very close. They don't want to
Yeah.
spend on people who distantly know them, and they would
Yeah.
bring all close families. And this change would be very big change. This was already there in Europe. This was already
Yeah.
there in the US, and India weddings also would start seeing this.
I completely agree with Gaurav sir, Sonia. And one more insight which I have been seeing in the last 2 weeks, wherein the inquiries have started running in, and I have not seen a wedding being planned in December, January, February, November, December, January, February, which is the inquiry is not more than 150 people.
Correct.
And the budgets are the same, which I would have got
Because,
from doing
more
a wedding for
experiential
1,500 people.
engagement is something that you're looking ahead for. So where
Yeah.
the end consumer would spend up maybe end of the day the same dollar, but you would spend
Yeah.
that on a lesser audience you would invite.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Attending a
And it
bigger
is here
experience.
to stay, I feel. So Gaurav sir is very much right on that part.
Right.
It
So
is here to
one
stay.
more thing, because we've been talking about only weddings, and event is beyond weddings. It is family,
Yeah.
community, professional,
Yeah,
exhibition.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so is it beyond for you, or at this point in time, it is just wedding which brings the biggest revenue stream? And what are the other revenue streams possibly you look at from a franchisee perspective or overall business model apart from wedding?
It depends on the geography, Sonia. Basically, if I am getting a franchisee in Rajasthan, as Gaurav sir had previously said, so we need to take each inquiry or each franchisee model from where they want that franchisee to distinguish between the revenue streams. So if you see Baddi is there in Himachal, and it is a very uh, there are a lot of manufacturing units and industrial town as yet. So from that revenue, as a company, we are providing event services to corporates like seminars, conferences, get-togethers, uh, uh, training activities, team building activities for corporates. In socials, we are doing like also wedding again, but social gatherings for just like we have a client who is a Jain, and they do activities around the year into their community. So there are other communities who are doing get-togethers of huge audiences coming in. Swaminarayan is another religion in which they do a lot of events, and we are catering to them. My background, as I say, I was into sporting events also. So we have done IPL. We have a small part of an IPL we have managed as a external agency. I was a part of distance running races in India, which is like Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon, Atal Delhi Half Marathon, Sunfeast World 10K, TCS World 10K. So there are different revenue streams which we can explore one-on-one from where we are going to function as a unit. But if you see the revenue streams in our organization as of now, 60% of the revenue comes in from the wedding.
Okay.
And 40% from the corporate.
All right. And I think there would be more of professional events or maybe exhibitions. I don't know if you do that as well, which we also see rise in these times.
Yeah.
One question which I want to ask, because a lot of these events, when they happen virtual, you have people coming from all across the country.
Yeah.
How is the area between the franchisee? Because he can get inquiries from anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And the other is, if I'm getting, for example, we said Udaipur. So the investor gets the area defined only as Udaipur. And while he can procure or get inquiries from all across. So how is the definition of territory given to a franchisee? How is territory protected?
See, if a franchisee is in Udaipur, the event can come in from anywhere in India. But the main idea is that where is the event happening? The event is taking place in Udaipur, in one of the properties in Udaipur. So he has the right to execute that wedding in Udaipur. So all the yeah, that is how, means like if that person is in the property is in Udaipur and the wedding is taking place there, the lead generation can happen anywhere in India. That is what the idea is.
Okay, and what happens in case of a virtual event? Maybe I'm based out of Delhi, but I get an inquiry from other location, but that's my hard work. So will a franchisee get a benefit of that lead which he has generated out of his own effort?
Of course.
Because lead generation can happen from anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
The
and
main,
the second question, Karan, because it is in continuation to the same, because you're also running a lot of activities on your various social platforms. A lot of leads will also come to you. So will a franchisee get any benefit of these leads? For example, you get a lead, any city, maybe I say Bombay, you get a lead on your platform from Bombay. So will it be passed on to the franchisee?
It will be passed on to the franchisee.
And will there be any kind of difference in the commission structure for the lead which is generated himself or passed on by you?
It remains the same. It remains the same.
Okay, and what kind of a revenue share structure? I'm not too sure if we touched upon that. What is the total revenue we talked about, but what is that he needs to give to you? Is the
that is the royalty? Yeah, it is the royalty at 15% of
okay,
the
and that
total
is
business
all
generated.
across, right?
Yeah.
It is standard all across.
Yeah.
Okay. Second, Karan, because we're in these times, what kind of gestation time do you see for an individual to come to maybe optimum performance as far as business is concerned?
The gestation period is with respect to the event industry. The majority of the turnover happens between August to February. So depending on the timelines in which we are converting the whole the system and getting functional, although this whole industry and the kind of revenue streams which have started rolling in, it is not seasonal now, but the majority of the revenue will come between August to February, and depending on that, I can say 6 months is the gestation period you can take to start rolling.
So just to add, because events are seasonal, and a lot of events would come into certain seasons like marriages and even corporate events. You would see hotels full at certain seasons and certain months. So the business is seasonal, but there's certain businesses which one can expect coming throughout the year, which can be maybe corporate events or some kind of family or community events.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have many questions, Karan, which are coming in. We'll not be able to take all of them because they need a little bit of understanding on, how tie-ups are done in their city.
We can surely have that one-on-one.
So we'd like to take these one-on-one with you post the webinar. And some people, I think they have joined late or they've got disconnected in between. And some things you already covered, friends, but we'll be happy to cover that once again with you post this webinar. And we would request you to leave maybe your details on the hotline that has been shared, and we can come back to you. So
it's very important that you go into detail, and Karan is a very hands-on entrepreneur, very, very successful. 1,800 events in the journey of a decade. Talks about that he's almost doing an event every day, and so many events their company has executed, and they come with a lot of IPs which are already ready. Now, when I spoke to him, he shared the same vision that now he can make, as he made his own company successful, he can also empower a lot of other entrepreneurs who always wanted to get into event management business, but never had a mentor, never had a guidance. So this is a great time where you can join with him and start in the region, understand from his hard work what he's done. He's a very accomplished man. And as your business, maybe start small, don't rush into this. This is a good time to get into industry, and this is a good small investment. You don't have to put too much of expenses. Start with a small office of 300, 400 square feet, or maybe 500 square feet, 20, 25,000 rupees. Have 2 or 3 people, maybe another 50-60,000 rupees for their salaries. Be involved yourself. This is a good business you can make. And this business, don't think from a perspective of now. Think from this business, you will have to get in, understand the structure. There is going to be a huge rush. Today, if we find that there is a vaccine not already available, everything is fine, suddenly it'll get choked because a lot of postponement which has happened in last 5-6 months suddenly will come out. So the business has not gone anywhere. People who have to get married has to get married. So they are not going to leave this earth without getting married. So they would have to still celebrations. They would still have to do something around that. And indulgence is very human nature. They would always indulge. But as I said, the formats would change. It will become much more, interesting and innovative and organized. And so please reach us at 971-76-83838. So this is our business hotline, which you can send your little profile, talk about your little city and maybe your background. And we will like to set up your call with Karan. So go on one-on-one with him, talk about what questions you have, and then make a decision if this business is right for you. So Karan, before we go out, any last comments which you want to say and tell the audience here?
I would just like to say that we just need to bring in the professional event management service to small cities and towns with meaningful and rewarding collaboration. So I look forward to hearing them one-on-one, and thank you so much for the opportunity. And collaborating with FranCorp has been really amazing, and I look forward to a very long association with you all.
Sonia, your comments?
Yeah, thank you so much, Karan. I'm still seeing some inquiries coming in, and there's some of them who actually come from the entertainment industry, and I'm sure they're looking at more avenues, because an individual cannot do as much as they can do when they collaborate with a professional, experienced and entrepreneur like in a company like yours. So I wish you all the best. And a lot of people asked on your website, guys, we'd like to have one-on-one discussion with everybody, and we look forward to interacting with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pleasure.
Archana, for thanks notes.
So thank you so much, all the participants. We really appreciate the efforts and time put in by you guys. We want to thank Karan for sparing out time today to share his journey and about his brand. Thank you so much, our panel member, for sharing all the insights, views. As we always say, you can connect with us at our hotline number, which is 97176833838. That's our hotline number, 97176833838. The recorded version of this particular webinar and rest of the webinar is available at the Facebook page of Franchiseindia Brands Limited. That's the ID, FB page, Facebook page of Franchiseindia Brands Limited. You do connect with Sonia ma'am and Gaurav sir at their respective LinkedIn ID. That's the information in your on your screen. But before you go and we say final goodbye, we conclude the webinar for today. Tomorrow we are presenting you 64th edition, and we have another great brand to present to you, Desertino by Santushti. All those guys who are coming from Gujarat, they know the power of this particular brand. It's Gujarat leading multi-cuisine dessert chain with 30 plus outlets already operational across India. And we have Bhavesh Chichani, who's the founder and managing director, digitally interacting with you tomorrow. So do not miss this chance. The registration link is already there in your chat tool. Do register yourself before 12 tomorrow so that you get a confirmation mail from our side, and our team will definitely connect with you. Share your feedback, suggestion, and your issues with us at the hotline number. We will try to help you with each and every probable information from our side. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Karan.
Thank you, sir.